A year has passed since I retired, and I find myself avoiding people more and more. And maybe you are too. And I'm going to tell you what I'm doing about it. I find myself avoiding public places more and more. And I feel like I can be an introvert, but even more so now than in the past. And that's concerning to me. So I felt like I needed to build some strategies to help me navigate public places now. And maybe you feel the same way that I do. If you find yourself getting more anxious in traffic, waiting in lines is getting on your nerves, trying to find a parking spot in a crowded parking lot, because I do want to get out of the house. I don't want to be a recluse. I don't want to be a hermit. But I do want to limit some of my time in public places, specifically crowds of people. But that doesn't mean I want to be antisocial, because I do love my close knit groups. I enjoy my friends and my family. I have a small circle that I do keep very near and dear, but I also need my space. I want my stress in my retirement to be minimized. And these are some of my recommendations. Well, my first recommendation has to do with scheduling. I keep a calendar. I keep a calendar of our doctor's appointments. I keep a calendar of our social events. And I use that calendar to keep me on track to minimize the times when the doctor's office might be busiest, or when the grocery store might be busiest, or going to the bank. Now, those are public places that I feel I can go to on my own time. Now, I do have a whole lot more free time since I retired, so planning the days and the times that I go to these places can be on my own time. It doesn't have to be before or after work. And that's what I realized. When I was at work, life outside work was still going on. And I didn't realize how busy the world was. Now, I knew I had my traffic driving in and out of work. That was what was expected. And on weekends, I didn't see so much traffic, and I did spend more time at home too. But I didn't realize how busy the world was while I was at work. Now, I worked in the school system, and if you ever worked in the school system, once you're on campus, you're like in campus jail. You don't really leave campus. You bring all your stuff to last you throughout the day. So what goes on in the outside world is not something you've really experienced for years. And I was somewhat shocked as to how busy the world actually was. Okay, so I probably took that to a whole new level, and I just want to get back on track. My second strategy was pretty much already in place, because in my community, it was well known that I was working, and people respect that. So when somebody is working, that they are pretty much not available from, say, 9 to 5. We'll just use those hours. And in the morning, they're getting ready to go to work, or in the evening, they're just trying to de-stress or put their life back together so that they can get up and do it again. So a lot of people in my community knew that Monday to Friday, or Friday afternoon, that my house was my fortress. And I still continue to have that same respect to my personal space within my community. The people I live around know that I am a morning person and I am out walking. So if they need to find me, I'm not really at home. Or in the evening, my husband and I still are early to bed and early to rise. For us to be out after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night is unusual unless we're going to a party and an event. It would be a planned party and a planned event. It's not typical for someone to come to our house at 8 or 9 o'clock at night and expect to have cocktails and happy hour and socialize, play cards, or whatever it is. It's our home is still our fortress, and I plan on keeping it that way as much as I possibly can because it gives me peace. My third strategy is to avoid the crowds. Now, my husband and I figured out a couple of things on how to do that. And an example is if we need to go shopping, say we want to go to Publix or go to Walmart. Well, we're early birds, so we will go out at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, and we will do our shopping and we will get it done then, before any traffic starts or before the parking lot gets full, before the lines start, so we can avoid a lot of those triggers that give us a little bit of anxiety about being around people and being in crowds. To take that a little bit further, when we want to go out and have an adventure or an escape, we don't head for Disneyland or Disney World or Disney Springs. That is not a place where we get a lot of peace. And we want to minimize the amount of anxiety or stress in our life, so we don't make it a point to go to those types of places. We like to go to a park, we like to go into a nature preserve where we can walk and just be surrounded by nature versus people. Now, sometimes you have to be in a crowd, and it does occasionally happen where we are in crowds, like 4th of July. We do like to go and watch fireworks, and in order to watch fireworks, you're gonna have to be in a crowd unless you can watch them from your house. To continue to experience life, there will be times where we're going to have to be in crowds. And those are going to be planned experiences for us, hopefully. Hopefully, there's no unplanned experience for us to be in a crowd. And if that does happen, we're just going to have to deal with it in the best way that we possibly can. Okay, so this last strategy is what I'm kind of known for with family and friends, and that is ghosting. They tell me I am a professional ghoster, and I am well known for ghosting parties and family events and just somehow backing away from crowds and finding a place where I can have solitude and peace. My husband knows this, and my family knows this, and my friends know this. So it's not at all a surprise. And I feel like I've already built that up with people knowing that I'm an early to bed person and an early to rise person. So if I ghost someone, they don't take it personally. It's part of my behavior. I really don't do it intentionally sometimes because I get my fill, like my I cannot even concentrate sometimes when I'm in large crowds because there's so many distractions. I don't know what to focus on, and that just makes me crazy sometimes. So I just back away or I just leave. And if I'm at a family's house, they know that, and even if it's at my house, they know that I'm going to go to bed and they'll just see me in the morning, or I will leave their house and I'll just text them in the morning. But I am a professional ghoster. That is part of my reputation that I've built up over time. I don't know if that's good or bad behavior, but I know it's behavior that works for me. And to protect my own peace and solitude and serenity, I feel like I'm okay with that. And that's my personal hot tip. I suppose it's not going to be easy for anyone to just start leaving parties without somebody saying they're being rude. This has been something I have built up over time and I am well known for. So it is a strategy. I don't know if you should take it right away without building up some of those prior skills I talked about in this video. Now, I hope this has helped you in some way, and please subscribe and watch for more content. Thanks so much. Bye.